Hi, this is Tom Simpson from Arnold, Maryland. I love soccering, and you are listening to the DU Football Show. Go soccer, guys. Soccer good.
Soccer was really fucking good on Sunday.
Yes, it was.
What else were you going to watch? The Indianapolis 500, where there was like 5 wrecks in the last 6 laps and they could barely finish their race?
I would say it's not fun to watch until the last 10 laps anyway.
Oh, there was a wreck in the Prem, but we'll get on to that. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smells of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by 2 common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, Father of the Year.
That's right.
Man goals.
Fuck.
Fuckity fuck. There, I said it. Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing, buddy?
Doing very well, thank you very much. How are you?
Hanging in there. I'm survived.
Yes. I am happy to be wrapping up another season, though. I could use a month off.
Yeah. Well,
Tired.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yesterday, I could just go for a nap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
Go for a hibernation.
Oh, that was emotional.
Would be nice.
We're recording at the DU Public House, just outside our nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with your footballing friends. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Of course, it is dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email, and at dufootballshow on all the social medias. Also, make sure to join Drunkard United FC, the closed group on Facebook, which is where most of the shit talking happens. So make sure to join Drunkard United FC.
And make sure you also have the phone-in audition when we're going to check to make sure that the live stream is working. Production.
Just the end of our 5th year.
Just production.
Still working out the kinks.
Yeah,
It's...
I don't care. I'm going to Europe.
What John McGinn say? Get those passports ready. dufootballshow@gmail.com and at dufootballshow on all the socials. Join Drunk United FC. Get involved in the hashtag bands.
And thank you.
Made me lose my whole train of thought.
Thank you to everybody who's joining us live tonight as well. And thank you also for not being too ruthless on the Leeds, Leicester, and Southampton supporters yesterday. I figured if I was going down, I would not have been as kind.
I would have gotten involved for sure because it's funny. But it's, a lot of those guys support the show, obviously, and do everything, that we ask them to. I mean, they're involved in the bits. They, take stuff on the chin. They're awesome people, and we want them to stay involved. So, just keep listening. We're, of course, Championship Corner is going to keep coming back, so your teams will get talked about. And we'll, see how it goes from there.
Well, as we like to every season, we always do a little program changing and mixing things up. So be on the lookout on the horizon for some new programming from your friends at the DU Football Show.
Potentially.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So does the red-blooded Americans we are. We vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Not really gin weather, but fuck it, we're having gin.
Well, it was 83 degrees where I was today. I don't know what fucking monsoon you lived in during the day today, but I had a lovely old time. This is Aczu Gin. It is one that I represent. It is 47% by volume, which would make it 94 proof if my math does it quickly. And Mel, for you, I wanted to make sure we brought this one because it is from Seville, Spain.
I appreciate
the former
it.
haunts and stomping grounds of your current manager, Unai Emery.
I like it. European.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So it is distilled in Andalusia. It is made primarily with lemons and oranges are the huge thing. So you've got juniper, orange peel, lemon peel, orange blossom, cinnamon, coriander, clove, cardamom, and angelica hibiscus. So it is fucking delicious.
Those orange blossom notes do come through, and it's not too hot if you just want to do a shot like I just did.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I wanted to taste the flavors because we smelled the gin, and I love it. I absolutely love this one.
And we used Busby's premium cocktail mixers. This is their mango tonic water sweetened with a little honey.
That's perfect.
And it is perfect with this gin.
That's a
It is
great
fucking delicious.
Yeah.
The gin you can find for between $41.99 and $45.99 on the shelf, depending on feature pricing or anything that the store might be doing. But it is quite a good gin. I was pleasantly surprised. I wish it was a bit more highbrow on the packaging. It looks a little cartoony with this beautiful portrait of a church in Spain.
Yeah.
But the words are kind of cartoony and stuff.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
It's just kind of a hodgepodge of a package. I think that hurts it on the shelf. But
it doesn't look like Spanish gin.
No, but it's fucking delicious.
It is very good.
Mel, I also figured you would want to do some sort of little European tour, preparing yourself for what's going on. I happened to cross something I've never seen before. Product of Spain, Producto de España, as some might say. It's called the Basque apple, which I believe Unai Emery is from the Basque region of Spain anyway. It is called the made in Basque Country, long poured in New York, a dry, unfiltered cider.
I love it.
But it is made in Spain, so here you are.
I am also drinking another European beer, Grolsch Pilsner, because, I got to now get down with all things Europe.
There you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Somebody's kind of happy. And what else do we always have?
Always make sure you drink responsibly.
Yep. And especially once your team survives and you responsibly kill a bottle of
for
fucking
12
rye
hours.
whiskey. Let's do it. Very good.
Oh, double tap for Europe over here. All aboard.
Yeah, got to remember to double tap them zombies, right? We learned that in Zombieland. One of the golden rules. Now,
so good.
We're going to do just like we did last year, where we're going to take that entire day on Sunday and go down minute by minute with goals and storylines and kind of treat it like it's one big 90-minute game.
Sure.
Way. But I would be remiss if we did not mention there were still 2 matches that had to be made up for games in hand, just to kind of wrap everything up. Had a little bit on the line.
Did what you did last year. Put a bow on it.
Yeah, put a bow on it. So it has a little bit of implication, and we're just going to touch on them real quickly. Brighton took it to City and drew them 1-1 at home and secure themselves Europa League.
Could you call them by the proper name? Manchester City B.
No, heard my very true. Very
was
true.
their B team.
Oh, yeah.
Annoying, of course, because obviously with us having lost to Forest, we were already out of the title race, and then City decided to do what they did over these 2 games, just to rub salt in the wound.
Yeah, just
really,
to make it a little closer. Yeah,
just to really piss me off.
It hurt.
It hurt a lot.
Stung a little.
What a fucking goal by Enciso, though. That was a peach, and I like the little dance at the end as well.
Fucking nasty.
I like the little dance at the end as well.
Man United the very next day demolished Frank's Chelsea 4-1, guaranteeing Champions League and sending Liverpool to Europa.
Yeah, a lovely farewell goal for João Felix to remember his time in West London on loan, as he'll be trading. I'm sure trading the glitz and glamour of West London and the area surrounding the Pensioners Club for Tyneside is the newest rumor, in part of a £555 million overhaul of Newcastle United that I saw today.
Jesus Christ.
Potentially, yeah. Those are the rumors.
It's going to be insanity. You have to figure they're going to now. They got to Champions League. They're going to have the cash.
Oh yeah,
they got up there.
They're owned by the Saudi government. They have the cash,
right? But now they're going to really splash the cash.
So Neymar is a name being considered.
Jesus.
Yep. A couple blokes from Spain, couple blokes from Italy. Typical shit.
Yeah.
Just anybody that's worth half a fart in a jar is being linked with Newcastle.
Barcelona and Juventus are both going, yes, we need the fucking payday.
100%.
Take some of this money off of our hands, please. You know that's fucking coming.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Ooh, funny. So on to Sunday. Spurs, Villa, and an outside shot for Brentford. We're fighting for the McRib Conference League spot, the lone one. And but the real storyline was all about survival. as Leeds, Leicester, and Everton were all at home fighting for one single spot.
Yes.
And we have kickoff around the league. And right off the bat, before the kickoff, Cherries do a little shithousery. They win the coin toss and go, oh, yeah, hey, Everton, you're at home. Go at your Gladys Street end first.
Yeah, 100. Brilliant. How fucking brilliant is that? But, oh, wait, what's that? 2 minutes in, fucking Leeds concede. And as you all know,
yep,
I like to theme my beers sometimes, right? So I have two. I'm just going to name them, and I'm going to tell you why. Mm-hmm. But they both have to do with one with Leicester / Leeds, because don't their goalkeepers both wear black typically?
Yes, typically.
Yeah, so I got Trash Panda, which is an American IPA because both goalkeepers are shite. And partially the reason why they're down there. In general, and then the other one is called Lost in the Mist, which is how Leeds ended the day.
Oh shit! Hey, it's worth mentioning. I'm gonna say the quote that Big Sam said at the end of his press conference.
That was Harry Kane, by the way, with the goal.
Yeah, shocker.
His 29th goal of the season, very quietly having a fantastic season for a shit team.
Yeah, for a team not playing in Europe. But Big Sam had a quote that I found very interesting. You and I talked about this off air, and we thought we'd put it at the beginning of the show because as we talk about Leeds, this kind of sums up everything for them. Big Sam after the match. I wanted us to go out with a sense of pride today. Unfortunately, didn't see that, sadly. And he's not wrong in the regards of you concede in the first 2 minutes.
Like with 5 defenders.
Right. You set up a defensive lineup, and then that's how you fucking
And that's
go.
how, that's not on the manager. That part of it is not on the manager. Have some pride in yourself.
Right.
2 fucking minutes. It's absurd.
But then also the way you read that, because it's fucking Big Sam, and Big Sam is a fucking ass.
Yeah.
He's a fucking ass. And what I read in that directly is, I wanted us to go out there and play with a sense of pride because I don't give a shit because I'm going to get my money and move on and everything will be fine. But they didn't feel like playing today. Well, motherfucker, for whatever it's worth, you're the coach. You're as responsible for that fucking loss as they are.
Yeah, 100%. But to be that disorganized that quickly, it's one thing if you're chasing a game and something's happening, but you needed to win by 3 clear goals. He set you up defensively anyway to give you a chance, and that's how you start.
Yeah.
It's just the players have to look at themselves in the mirror at that point, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. Big Sam's a cunt.
Yeah.
He's distancing himself entirely from it, and that's wrong, and he should be taking partial responsibility.
Exactly.
But those players need to take a look at themselves. That's pathetic.
8th minute. Douglas Luiz fucks for Villa. We go up on Brighton, and he slides about, 1 lap around the stadium, going kick first.
The Geico commercial where the guy just
keeps sliding. Yeah,
it was exactly what the fuck it was.
It literally, his chest is out, his arms are back, and he's just going pelvic first. And it's like, fuck yeah, that's the winner right there, bitches.
So how Spursy? For 6 minutes, you're in Europe. Nope, not anymore. Not anymore. Won't be. You're not gonna be. Newsflash: they ain't relinquishing that lead.
No.
No matter how many goals you score. I think they were just probably thinking, well, if we score more goals, maybe we'll be in. No. Kind of need Villa there to lose points, and they ain't gonna do it.
Yep.
Oh, then of course, finally offering something for his $40 million. Mr. Gordon scores for Newcastle, making it 1-0.
Just to rub salt in your wounds.
Well, it was a tap in, so fair, good on him. It wasn't, Anthony Gordon, normal Anthony Gordon, which is a deflection off of somebody for a goal.
Right.
So
no shit.
He directly put it into the goal.
And then, good for you.
Good for you.
In the 10th minute, Diogo Jota scored for Liverpool.
Yeah, no big surprise there, right? Liverpool's going to walk all over Southampton, right?
Correct.
Then in the 11th and 14th minute, your boy, Granit Xhaka, with a quick brace. Yeah, as his wife has told him, his time in the Premier League is done, and apparently he needs to leave and go to Germany.
Yeah, but he's got the whole situation where also at Leverkusen, where he's supposed to end up, Xavi Alonso is the manager who's like best mates with Mikel Arteta.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's just, I feel like a backroom deal is something that...
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. Well, especially considering the rumors of both Declan Rice and Ilkay Gundogan coming to Arsenal.
Yeah, there's no
Someone's got to go. So, Partey will be the backup guy.
Yeah, and Xhaka's he's with 31 now or something. So, yeah, I mean, we typically don't offer players in their 30s multiple year deals, but he will want one, especially with the resurgence he's had this season. So it makes sense for all parties involved. He had a great season. Good on him. He actually fluffed his lines and sliced what could have been a hat trick from the exact same position that he scored the first two.
Yeah, no shit.
Then in the 14th minute, brought a little tear to me eye. Bobby Firmino scored his final goal for Liverpool.
His last home game, his last road game, gets a goal.
2-0 up against the already relegated side.
The shiny veneers.
What you worried about?
Everything, everything's going well. Not just Bobby's veneers, but Klopp's veneers. He's smiling from the sideline as well. 15 minutes in, Sam, and guess what? None, not a single one, not Leicester, not Leeds, not Everton, has managed a shot on goal. You're playing for fucking survival, boys. You're playing for fucking survival.
That's right.
19th minute, Brighton thinks they've equalized it, but VAR calls it off. But in another game, Tete scores as Fulham goes up on Man U, putting Newcastle in third.
But wait a second, James Ward-Prowse scores to make it 2-1 against Liverpool there for Southampton, showing fight they should have shown 6 weeks ago.
Right, and probably his final goal going to be scored there at Southampton. So
I heard a couple people saying today, actually, some very respectable pundits, unlike ourselves, saying that they think he might stay.
Really?
Potentially. Southampton's going to need the money, though.
Yeah,
and that's the part that's
a lot of people come calling. I mean, if he stays, they are first place and automatically go up.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, he's just class over the way he'll control the midfield against.
It just won't be able. Yeah, 100%.
It won't even be close. 25 minutes in, Harvey Barnes for Foxes finally gets a shot on target, and the Foxes are starting to press West Ham.
26 minutes in, Ollie Watkins, fucks for Villa. We're now up 2-0. It was a great pass. It was Leon Bailey, I thought, coming down and thought he could make the goal, but he had the goalie on him, so he made an unselfish pass right over to Watkins, who just knocked it in.
In the 27th minute, Bukayo Saka scored a goal that he's been needing for a few weeks now to make it 3-0 at the Emirates Stadium. At the same time, Mr. Reliable himself, Kieran Trippier, in the Newcastle match, concedes an own goal.
I mean, hey,
1-1 in that game at that point.
Spur is going to spur, right?
I mean, what do they say? You can take the guy out of the cock, but you can't take the cock out of the guy or something. Something like that. Oh, shit, it is me again. Sulemana makes it 2-2 versus Liverpool in the 28th minute. So, whoa, Southampton going out with a bang.
Thought Liverpool was just going to call it a day here. 2-0, we're done. I guarantee you, Klopp probably looked over at the Southampton sideline and said, okay, look, it's over now. So you guys can stop playing and we'll just,
it's fine. Yeah.
Let us all go to the beach. It'll be great, Finally, in the 30th minute, a shot on goal from Everton as they begin to take over play in their match as well.
Yes, they started pushing a bit. Yep.
The Foxes and the Toffees are really starting to figure, we need to get our shit together here. It's going to be probably the two of us.
Yes. In the 31st minute, Al-Mani gets his 10th goal in the league this season. Won you for Nottingham Forest.
Very good.
And in the 34th minute, the Foxes score to go 1-0 up on West Ham as Harvey Barnes, putting them into 17th place and Everton into the drop zone in your live league table.
The stadium went quiet.
Oh, yeah.
The stadium went quiet. Very interesting thing, though, at halftime. Jordan Pickford was interviewed later by the NBC Sports Desk. Nobody brought up the score to them at halftime. Dyche didn't either. Dyche just went, okay, look, boys, this is what we got to do. We got to go out. We got to win. Didn't even mention what Leicester was doing. Which
is funny. Conversely, I heard the opposite was true for the Leicester players who were asking the referee and the linesman if they knew what was going on in the other game, which I hope they didn't, because they were supposed to be watching this one and refereeing it.
Yeah, precisely. 39th minute, Sancho equalizes for Manchester United, and Man U move back into third place.
Yes, which is important because remember, third place is automatic group stage. Fourth place does have a qualifying round they have to go through.
And Newcastle now, if they end up in fourth, which newsflash they did, now have late July in the United States, and then early August in Europe. That is going to affect their continuity for training and getting ready, for the next season.
You're right.
Yeah, big old burp.
Where are we at? 38th minute. Undav makes it 2-1, but Villa's still in the McRib.
Yeah, somebody looking like they're going to Europe. Very good. In 44th minute, Tarkovsky has a massive flub. Cherries intercept the ball, almost score, put it wide.
Yes, they did put it wide, and Jordan Pickford laid into his defense at that stage as well, which was, always difficult.
Funny thing too, when doing the interview afterwards, they were, say you're always very animated, and he goes, yeah, I am. I make a lot of noise, but don't mistake that as me screaming at the guys. It's typically me motivating the guys, me trying to pump them up. I'm like, yeah, telling them to fuck right off is exactly how I can read lips. I can read lips,
yeah.
Yeah, precisely, exactly. 45th minute, a flurry of action in front of the Bournemouth net, including a great save by Travers for them to, there's a corner and everything happens, but no goal at the end of the half, and boom, we're at halftime. Whew. Villa in the McRib, Foxes are safe on goal differential. Everton and Leeds are now officially going down.
Yes, that's halftime, and it's a bit crazy at that point. You just take a breath. I mean, I had your guys on my laptop. I had Arsenal on the TV, and I was constantly updating my phone to see what Leicester and Leeds were doing. Really, I stopped looking at Leeds because there was no fucking point.
Yeah, right.
Especially after the 47th minute, because Pedro Porro scored number 2. Of course, when it doesn't matter, Tottenham show up.
Yep.
Then Solomena, I don't know why I hate him, makes it 3 unanswered for the Saints as they, try to rain on Liverpool's parade. I heard from a very reliable source after this goal, Bobby Firmino's teeth got darker by 2 shades because he was so sad that they were spoiling his last game.
the when they were used to do the robot voices to the highlights of the games, which ended up having trademark stuff, so they couldn't do it. The one who does the Everton one whenever it was Liverpool, he always called him the grinning lesbian.
Yeah, it's funny.
Grinning lesbian on the pitch. Oh, fucking brilliant. Travers called in the action again, makes another save. Damari Gray probably should have done better with this. He was inside the 6.
It was very unconvincing, that header.
It felt like let me make sure I put this low to the ground and make sure I get it perfect. But
his body language was almost like, please don't clean me out.
Yeah.
Like he looked scared, if that makes sense.
And it almost looked like he telegraphed where it was going.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I need to make sure I hit this perfectly.
I'm going to hit it here.
He Harry Maguire'd that shit. I'm going to put it right there. That is exactly
But a great reaction from the Bournemouth defender when Travers saved it to get it out and not put it back on target either, because that came at him a little quickly.
It did.
And he was able to flick it out wide for a corner.
But you're getting to the point. You can tell Everton are putting the screws. They're trying to get in the net. You can tell that they're looking for a winner.
Yes.
You know? And that's also, they don't know what's going on at this point, apparently, either.
Exactly. And in the 55th minute, Bruno Fernandes puts United 2-1 up in their match.
Yep, and pretty much securing them to be in third place unless Newcastle's able to get another goal and go up. And also then Fulham finds an equalizer, which probably wasn't going to happen at that point.
Correct.
But in the 57th minute, goal. Everton, Doucouré, a blast from outside the 18, put Everton up 1-0, making them safe and putting the Foxes back in the relegation drop.
Yes, so that was a total of 23 minutes that Everton were going down for at that point in time. But that goal, obviously, it was in your hands completely. Had you scored, had you won the game, you were going to stay up no matter what the other results were. And by God, you needed it.
Yeah, who was going to get it? Man, it ended up being Doucouré. I told you Doucouré and McNeil have been getting the ball in the net lately, but also a lot of their success drew off of them having Calvert-Lewin to distribute and help them, but they found a way, man. They got the ball in the
absolutely
back of the
did. In the
net.
58th minute, Gabriel Jesus made me a very happy boy and $102 richer as my real live money bet came in because I had Saka to score at any time. I had Jesus to score at any time. Over 4.5 home corners, so Arsenal needed 5 corners or more. There to be over 2.5 goals in the game, and Arsenal to cover the spread of -1, which they did all of those things as Gabriel Jesus stole in at the far post and headed home a very powerful header and Arsenal's 4th goal.
Very good. In the 61st minute, Mina gets fouled on the sideline. The very same sideline that the one fan last year in the sweater put the ball underneath his shirt. Let me find out. Mina stands up immediately, puts the ball underneath his shirt, and starts looking around like that guy. I know I'm a hypocrite because I say how much I hate this kind of... Let the shithousery begin from Mina. The vein is plump. Insert it right.
There was a lot of it.
Because the rest of the match, there was the match, and then there was the Mina show.
Now, hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
The 62nd minute. About face finally figured out which direction his team were going and scored in the correct goal. Puts the Foxes up 2-0. Now only having a -1 goal return for the season after those 2 own goals against Liverpool earlier. But it doesn't change their status as Everton are winning. So that would leave them, which it ended up, of course, a point behind.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Then 4 unanswered for the Saints in total, this time through Armstrong scoring. So Bobby Firmino's teeth almost look like mine at this point. He's so sad. I feel like his teeth are like a mood ring.
Who knows what the highlights were? I didn't bother watching, but I mean, you have to imagine Klopp is losing his fucking mind. Like, Klopp is like, no, you all were supposed to roll over and die. We were up 2-0. This is done. Like, 4 fucking... where's this been all season, Saints? Where?
Right.
Where
yeah,
has
no
this
shit.
fucking been? In the 66th minute, Will Hughes, Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Casper the Friendly Midfielder.
Goes ahead and equalizes for Palace. And don't look now. Palace, what the fuck, guys? Y'all have standards. You're supposed to finish comfortably 12th every year, not 11th.
Right.
Have some pride in your work, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. In the 67th minute, Leeds finally show a little bit of fight with Jack Harrison getting a goal. It's 2-1. And yes, we're on the... Oh, fuck. Harry Kane scored again. He put Spurs 3-1 up, obviously up by 2 goals. But still, with the Villa result being what it was at that point, Tottenham's still out of European competition.
Right. It was 2-1, but they needed Brighton to equalize, and it didn't look like it was going to happen. That's for sure. 70th minute, a ruckus happens in front of the Everton net as Pickford makes a save. Dominic Solanke is knocked down behind him. Being a former Liverpool guy, went, oh, wait, hold on. I don't like these guys. They're blue. Reaches around, grabs Pickford by his legs while the play is going on, and just tackles him over, which is funny that, like, yeah, he got a yellow card for the melee. I don't think VAR ever even looked at him. But he literally,
I mean, honestly,
arm around him, that's a red.
It's serious foul play and should be a red card.
It's a fucking red
100%.
card.
But at this point, what do you care because of what happened next? Because the same could be said for Yeri fucking Mina.
Mina gets right up in Solanke's face, puts his head on his chest as almost to look like he was resting on his chest. Solanke, moments later, is running up to the ref with his shirt pulled down, pointing at his chest. Me think Mina had a nibble.
Mina quite hungry.
Mina hungry. Let the shithousery commence. He's just fucking non-stop.
He's one of the only South American players in your team anymore, right? After the last few years where you had a fair few, actually. Right. And some people forget, and the English think that they're better than it. Obviously, with Solanke's actions, they're not. But a little South American flavor to the end of this game.
Oh, yeah. Well, and what's also obvious, cherries ain't rolling over. Like, West Ham just kind of playing out the game against the Foxes.
Which I was a bit surprised by because they had 10 full days from Sunday until their Conference League final against Fiorentina. So they had a chance to play their players and to make sure people were still sharp and all that kind of stuff. And they chose to rest a fair few of them.
Managers and ex-Everton, like, icon,
Yeah.
Like he's a fucking hero for fucking Everton. It's the man who coined us the People's Club and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And but the Cherries were making offensive subs.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Cherries
They were trying. 100%.
Now, I will say they didn't get very many shots on goal. They didn't get very many opportunities, but it wasn't like they weren't fucking trying, especially when they put in the big fella and decided they were going to be, just try to hoist balls up and get them knocked down. And it was fucking on.
Yep. Now, 72 and 73 minutes in, back-to-back goals from Diogo Jota and Cody Gakpo made it 4-4 in what was probably the most entertaining match of the day that no one gave a fuck about.
No.
Because Southampton were already down, Liverpool had nothing to play for, and all eyes were at Goodison Park, Elland Road, and the King Power Stadium.
And also at that point, hell, even you admitted that after a while there, that went to the main screen.
Well, that's coming.
Yeah, well, because who the fuck scored for Arsenal to make it 5-0?
So his name is Jacob Kivior.
Okay.
He's our new center back that we got, who's been playing left back because for some reason Arteta doesn't trust Tierney anymore.
Okay,
so he changed the whole system. But Kivior is better known by his wife's accomplishments of being the European twerk champion, and he's her husband.
So
first thing that comes up when you Google Jacob Kivior wife, and they're good videos.
So
by the way, in case you're wondering,
first dude of twerking heard.
Yeah,
first dude of twerking, love it.
No, of twerking, it'd probably be first bra, wouldn't it?
First bra.
He's the first bra of twerking.
First bra twerking. Yeah, my girl.
She just pops that ass bra.
My bae knows how to pop it. She pops it great. It's awesome.
Maybe he should have played for the Cherries.
Hey! 79th minute. West Ham make it 2-1 on a Fornals goal against the Foxes.
Decent fucking goal as well for Pablo Fornals. That was excellent, actually.
In the 85th, allow it to be said again. Yerry Mina, shithouser. Damari Gray gets subbed off, and Yerry Mina hugged him approximately 247 times. He kept pulling him back to him and hugging him more, like, I love you so much, man. This is our last time together. You're the no, come here, let me hug you. And then walks with him, hugs him more.
Right.
Just clearly stalling as much time as. And then earlier in the game, when Damari Gray got fouled in the box, Yerry Mina just went over and sat on him. Was like, no, you got to stay down for a few minutes.
Well, and then Pickford made a save at one point, and Yerry Mina goes over, like, clapping him, grabs his shoulders. And, goalkeepers towards the end of the game will do that slow, drop to their knees, then their elbows. So he did. Pickford starts to go down. Mina, hands on shoulders, shoves him to his knees, then pushes him over on his front, and then sat on him, too. What is he doing?
Allow it to be said with Yerry Mina, when there was the regrettable game where our supporters, went after Anthony Gordon during the transfer window and they were confronting players. And one of the players that confronted was Yerry Mina. And Yerry Mina got out of his car, started talking to him. He goes, look, I'll die for this club. I will give everything I have for this club. He's announced he's not signing. He's not coming back. He's at the end of his deal. He's probably going home to Colombia.
He's also a bit older. It should be said, too. He's not just abandoning the team. He's probably going to go play his last 2 years out in his native country.
Right. And you cannot say for a second that man was not the absolute difference in Everton staying up in these last 4 matches.
Yeah, he was excellent.
He's played, he has been dynamite. Absolutely dynamite.
100%.
In this game, even with all the shithousery, it fucking worked, man.
Oh, yeah, it always does. In the 85th minute, Pinnock scores for the Bees to go 1-0 up on City. Just making me more sad.
Just like, oh, now, thanks.
And so I also did a 10 game for about $3 over under on goals. And I missed 2 of them. I had over a goal and a half in your game. So Damari Gray's header fucked me. And then I had over a goal and a half in this game. And apparently City have one chalked off on a VAR decision at some point. And I was updating this one on my phone as well. And City had about 4 chances in stoppage time and could not get a fucking ball over the line. But that $3 over under 10 game parlay would have paid me like $127. It was
fucking nice.
Yeah, it would have been nice. And it was at this point, Arsenal 5-0 up, game was kind of fizzling out. I decided I'm turning off the final 15 minutes of my club season. The least amount of moving parts was to just switch the Peacock on TV to West Ham and leave you on the laptop because then I didn't have to change two things.
Right. Very good.
So West Ham Leicester went up on the big screen because also Tottenham were still dominating Leeds. Leeds didn't, they were still 3-1 up, and their Leeds weren't really showing any fight at that point. I was updating my phone to figure that out.
Yep.
So I'm no longer watching Arsenal anymore, and I can't watch them for the next couple of months because I'm so ingrained in this fucking relegation fight.
That's it. That's what you're paying attention to. The 90th minute, you had 6 minutes added to both the Foxes and Leeds matches. 10 minutes added to the Everton game. You're just like, fuck.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of squeaky bum time.
No shit.
Villa had about 8 minutes added to it.
Yeah. You're just like, hold
apparently
on.
Every fourth official is from Qatar.
Yeah, exactly. They just added all the time to it.
And what Everton needed was that African referee who ended a game early.
93rd minute, massive save from Get the Rave on Jordan Pickford from outside the box.
Huge. That save. It was a comfortable height for him, it should be said. It's a save you would expect him to make. But in the context of the situation, the pressure that's on him, that is a massive, massive save and saved you all about 70 million pounds.
It's he said in his poster with the NBC crew, he's like, they were like, hey, massive save. He goes, massive save because of what it meant. He goes, but honestly, comfortable height saw it the whole way. That's that's a save I need to make. He goes, it looks a lot more impressive than it is. That's a save we should all make as a keeper.
But the other thing that he did too, besides just saving it, was he pushed it into a place where there's no danger. He didn't spill it back out to the front. He didn't, clippity clop and have to jump on top of it to save the day. It was just a comfortable, good, two strong hands, push it well wide, away from danger, get this thing the fuck out of here.
Yep, exactly it.
So then Lucas Moura puts the final nail in Leeds' coffin. And then
as he says goodbye to Tottenham.
As he says goodbye to Tottenham as well. Harry Kane with his goodbye brace, more likely. He's one of the ones linked with Newcastle, by the way.
Oh, doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and it was Leeds. I mean, their fate was sealed basically when Kane scored his second, Tottenham's third.
Right.
Because Leeds weren't going to come back and score 5, and they needed to win by 3 goals to get the goal difference where they needed to be, as well as you all losing and Leicester losing. Yeah. And so Leeds were probably gone for a majority of this day. They had the least amount of options to get out of Dodge. So sad for the fans, sad for our friends, but at the same time, the club kind of did it to themselves. They, when they fired Jesse Marsch, there was no plan. Remember, they had just come back from an international break where they could have been searching for a manager for 2 weeks.
Right, exactly.
And just didn't. And I will have you remember, now, it's a very short amount of time to instill your philosophies and your game plan and your this, that, the other. And it's not the easiest situation to walk to. Third manager syndrome. You're in fucking trouble anyway. But I will have you remember that Leeds were outside of the drop zone when Big Sam took over.
They absolutely
were in 17th place when Big Sam took over. So he is culpable in that. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
Yeah, they had to play some tough matches, but
if you have a few extra quid on you, get him a couple of pints of wine and he might tell you the truth.
Yeah, exactly. And from that, in the 96th minute, most of the games are over. Villa's still playing as well, but for the most part, everything is over. Leeds are going down. The Foxes need the Cherries to score, and the score lines are as follows: Villa 2, Brighton 1, Man United 2, Fulham 1, Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1, Brentford 1, Man City 0, Palace 1, Forest 1, Liverpool 4, Southampton 4.
The greatest game that'll never be remembered.
Exactly. Arsenal 5, a game that would have probably led off our fucking show.
Yeah, no shit. It was comprehensive. Lopetegui also not said to be very happy, maybe moving on.
Very, very disappointed with Arsenal 5, Wolverhampton 0, Tottenham 4, Leeds 1, Leicester 2, West Ham 1.
I think part of Leicester's problem, and I'm gutted for their fans as well. I'm actually gutted for the ownership, the family. They seem like good people and actually trying. But we've talked about it ad nauseum. They, billionaires, it's hard to feel sorry for, but at the same token, their money is completely tied in the travel market, and they were especially rocked by COVID because nobody's fucking traveling. And most of those King Power duty frees are in Asia, rather, who had stricter lockdowns for a longer period of time than the rest of the world. So it is a bit sad for them. I do feel for those fans, and I do feel for that family. But again, they didn't believe they were in the drop zone all season. Brendan Rodgers came out and said it. We're not in a relegation fight. And
Madison tweeted it, said we're not in a relegation battle.
And that's what happens. And there were 4 minutes to have their season saved, as Bournemouth could have scored, but didn't.
And you know what? At the final whistle, those last 4 minutes, honestly, uneventful. Every time they tried to bring it down, Everton hoisted it right back out.
Yep.
Few times they got it to the corner with Iwobi and Decore and McNeil, and they just dribbled it out and they ran out the clock. And at the 110th minute, the whistle blows. Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. The Foxes are relegated along with Leeds and Southampton. Some supporters, not as many as the year before, some supporters are seen running onto the pitch. But as the song Spirit of the Blues is playing, you can hear sack the board, sack the board, sack the board being chanted louder than the celebration music.
And they're not wrong.
Not wrong at all.
Yep.
And there we have it. Everton squeak by on the final day. Graham, your thoughts? You've already kind of hinted there a little bit with Leeds and Leicester. I tend to agree with you on Leicester. You sat there and kept going, nothing to see here, nothing to see here, and you walked yourself
You just sleepwalked right to relegation. You could not figure out how to defend to save your lives, and that's going to cost you in the long run.
You had 2 players, double digits in the top 20 in scoring in the league. Everton didn't have a single player over 7.
That's a damning stat in of itself.
Now, also the big thing for Everton is Everton did not give up hardly any goals in comparisons to most everybody else.
Well, there's
they
the
didn't
thing.
Score any goals, but
now Leicester scored a shit ton of goals,
but they also gave
up so many.
A shit ton of
now,
goals.
I do want to say I heard a pretty damning stat, and but they were agents of chaos for the last 2 seasons anyway, was Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
They, a record, conceded 78 goals.
Mm-hmm. Second only to Southampton.
More than 2 a game.
Yeah.
No, that's the most in the division.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought Southampton was worse.
With Liverpool's 4th, they might have. I'm going to have to check that.
Yeah, no problem.
It's close enough. Anyway, averaging 2 goals, more than 2 goals against per game. I think it's like 2.2 or 2.1 goals a game. They were averaging against. And without Bamford all season, without, Rodrigo for a fair bit of it as well, missed a couple of months himself. They were never going to average 3 to 4 goals a game, and the writing was on the wall. And if Javi Gracia can't sort out a defense, there's something just intrinsically wrong with the defense, and they couldn't seem to rectify it. They didn't want to fix it. They didn't try. It didn't seem like they tried a new system. It didn't seem like they tried new personnel. They took a gamble on a 30 million pound player. I can't remember his name. But for me, he's going to be the honorable mention for both the best and worst signing, actually, next week when we go through our predictions and talk about those things. Because he could have been the best. They didn't give him a fucking chance. Yeah. He was the worst because he didn't save him. However, not his fault. They didn't give him a fucking chance.
Never fucking played. Yeah, barely played. And
so it's like, what are they, didn't try anything new? They just kept going, and Leicester doing the same thing. I mean, they didn't try to sort the defense out. They didn't try. Bring through a kid that cares. Fuck Voutface.
Yeah.
Right? Bring through somebody that gives a shit, and maybe he's better.
Yeah, they were only
because
good.
Voutface,
they were only good when they had Johnny Evans on the pitch.
Scored more own goals than he did goals.
Yeah, precisely.
He hurt your club more than he helped.
Yes, he's directly linked to why you are going down.
Sticking with Doug for so long. This other guy was at least half decent.
He had a good game against Everton. That's for damn sure. He was a worldie against Everton.
So it's just like, you got to try something new. You got to do something different. And it pains me that the management and the clubs did this to these fine people. Mark is a great guy. We love talking to him on the show. You know, Gecko, of course, Lars. It's sad for them, man.
Jason,
it really is. Jason,
who's Brody's friend, and Jeff Whipple, our boy Jeff.
It really is sad for them, man. It sucks to have your team go. I mean, I've never experienced it, and the whole Arsenal family hasn't in about 97 years, but... You know, and look at you.
We haven't experienced it in a long time.
1954 was the
1951 was the last time we were there.
Well, 53 was the last time you were promoted.
Yeah, right.
So 1954 till now is when. So 69 years or whatever it is.
Yep, exactly.
So draw a heart around it.
Oh yeah.
And then
maybe go down to Bournemouth again. Give a cherry a little pop in the face. Pop a cherry.
Weston McKinney. There was an opportunity for you to audition for the Premier League.
Yep.
And you failed miserably.
Tyler Adams didn't cover himself in glory either.
Well, Adams was hurt a lot. I felt like Adams did well. I think the jury's still out on Adams. You know, I
think the jury's out on Aronson.
Aronson as well.
He is a provider, but he had no one to provide to.
Yeah, but he was also just, not very tough. He was easy to beat off the ball.
Yeah. Pulisic's going to be looking for a summer move as well. So not a great year for Americans.
No, not at all. Not at all. It was a good World Cup for America, but not a good year for the players in their club.
Yeah, not at all.
On to Everton. Like we said, they're not wrong in the fans screaming and yelling for sack of the board. Bill, I'm sure today or tomorrow is going to put out some wonderful message about how proud he is of everything, and
of course
pat himself on the back and
jazz
hands and push out his chest. I am happy for my club. I am not proud of my club. This was an embarrassment. The fact that we had to fight it out on the last fucking day to barely survive, that our club took forever to fire the manager, waited until the last 2 days of the transfer market in January, and then promptly didn't give the new manager anything. If anything, got rid of a valuable asset in Anthony Gordon. I'm sorry. He just...
and that selling Digne the year before, and a lot of the decisions that are made at the top end of this club are bollocks.
Now
they're not even bad. It's bullshit. It's like they're actively trying to harm the club.
That's honestly what it feels like. I'm
fake news with the headlock.
I'm proud the boys went out there and found a way to win. And I'm proud of manager Sean Dyche for organizing this team when they were at their absolute worst in 19th place and to get them out and to get them to survive. But I'm not proud of the fact that we were in that situation.
Real quick, and I really don't mean to pick on Leeds. In particular, I mean, I do because they did it, but look at the fight Everton showed. You conceded after 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For all the failings of their board as well, their players gave up, and that they can only look themselves in the mirror for. Your players stood up and got counted.
Yeah,
they stood up in the face of adversity, said we can fucking do this, and they did it. And Sean Dyche stood up and did it. Big Sam cowered.
Yeah, and it's not like
it's this is the difference.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go win to the greatest opera house in the land next season and put on a performance of Les Mis that I'm sure everybody will be super fucking proud of. And then you'll find yourself with the best stadium in the championship next year.
Yeah, it'll be the following year. Yes. Here's the thing. It's Goodison's known as a hornet's nest. Nobody likes to play at Goodison at all. Ellen Road's 1B. It's one of the toughest it's not like your fans weren't there for you.
They turned up.
You let them down. It must be so frustrating. Just, because, for our friends, they got up on their terms. They did well, right? They did well. And then it's just...
I think people worked them out and they didn't respond.
Yeah.
Is the key.
Yeah.
People worked them out and then they didn't respond to it.
Yeah. And what we are seeing here for the end of the season, and we talked about this at last week a little bit, was you had 3 newly promoted clubs that stayed up. You have clubs that are quote unquote small sides, Brentford, Brighton, challenging for Europe, getting into Europe. You have old storied clubs like Villa and Newcastle
coming back around from their previous glory days. Yeah.
Next season, this will happen again if clubs aren't fucking serious. Like
100%.
Like Wolverhampton is already in trouble.
Ruben Neves talking about leaving. Lopetegui's not happy talking about leaving. They could find themselves in a very bad situation. Jose Sa getting dropped towards the end of the year, might be gone.
And all the money that they've been spending through the one agent, they're now up against FFP.
Yep.
So they're in trouble.
I think that's manufactured by City, though, to distract from their 115.
Everton is still have some FFP problems, and they're going to be held accountable for the one that they did break. And the sad part is the one that they broke was while the league was fucking looking over their books every month. Like, they were reporting every, like, it was like they had a tax auditor in the building looking at their shit, and they were like, yeah, let's see if we sneak this one by.
I feel, what's funny is I feel like we make fun of Charlie Kane a lot. Harry's brother, for the debacle over the Man City transfer and this, that, and the other. And, it's almost like, oh, shit, sorry, Harry, I accidentally e-signed a contract for the next 4 years. You're stuck in Tottenham for the rest of your life. But it feels like Mushari and the accountants at Everton are essentially clones of Charlie Kane and how pitiful their handling of that entire situation is.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Well, I'll tell you.
While City have mob lawyers who are awesome and get them off of everything.
Yeah, precisely. Nothing to see here, you looky loose. Oh, that being said, we have our 3 going down, and as we get into Championship Corner later, we have our 3rd coming up.
Yes, we do.
Sure money.
What's this segment again? I don't know. Do we do this? I don't do it.
I
didn't do anything.
Producer Mel, please hand me the trash can. I am not writing anything, but
Neither
what
am I.
I'm going to do is I am going to finally empty this godforsaken cup of fucking losers for this year, and they're fucking so stuck in there.
You know what's sad, though? And this is another slight on Mike Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
All of them fit in there. And I was over 37.
Mm-hmm. And this was 2 years worth. Because we forgot to. I'm still pulling fucking paper out of here, dude.
I'm going to write. There we go. I'm going to write.
And a lug nut. We'll throw that in there.
I am going to write my notes for the Cup of Losers to start the season off and try to appease the gods week 2. So I'll do that. But something. Yeah, 0 for 37. I finished without a single fucking win. Mm-hmm. However, in real betting, in case you were wondering, because I'm not as loosey-goosey as I am on the show.
It doesn't matter here.
I did finish $140 up for the year.
It doesn't matter, because that's not what happens here. You were 0 and 37. That's, So, I missed on a whole bunch of my fucking 7-game parlay.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
There it is.
I'm down 1,652. You know what, Graham? 16.216216% of the time. It worked 100% of the time. I got 6 more right than you fucking did, jackass. Yeah, so that's it. I fucking did terrible, but better than you.
My 12-game parlay was done at the first port of call. Do you know that?
Yeah.
It was that bad. By Wednesday, Brighton tie. Because I did all 12 games. The first port of call. That's like a sailor, 18-year-old sailor, excited to go around the world and tour with his ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID.
Herpes.
Yeah.
Oh.
First stop.
Mine. First port of call, herpes. Can't fuck the rest of the way.
Very good.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
If you're expecting a guard of honor, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, no.
We had Pat.
Oh, no.
Let's try him again.
Yeah, we're going to find out what his number was.
What were you? 1650?
1652.
There we go. I think we got Pat back.
You there?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, let's try this again. If you're expecting a guard of honor, you've come to the wrong fucking place.
So what did you hit?
Wait, I'm sorry. I got hung up on. What was that?
Did you hit your bet?
No, God, no.
So what'd you finish?
There was like a bunch of draws. Minus 1,000.
Oh, so
Even.
you did win.
Yeah, he did win. He was better than me.
All right, good job.
Everybody was better than you.
Hit a couple big bets and then a whole lot of losing bets, small bets. So
Yeah, but only down 1,000's not bad. I'm down 3,700.
I know. And that was taking $100 bet every single week. So that's a whole lot of losing.
Very good. And then, of course, we'll go ahead and do this now because we're not doing the whole music and all that stuff. Kitty ended up going 20-17 because she hit with Villa. So the chicken did better than all of us.
As usual.
Yeah, she's smart and takes one game a week.
Yeah, one game a week. Never a parlay.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Well, Pat, are you going to do this again with us next season?
Yeah, of course. It's always fun.
Excellent. I love it.
All right, good. Then we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Sometimes it's got to get done. Nice
That's
and simple.
it. Yeah, right.
You
know what? Put a bow on it.
Well, you got to remember, Mel, what should we always do?
I have no idea.
Remember to gamble legally and responsibly.
Championship corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh no!
Your girl was pitch side for the Everton match. All knowing it up.
Luton Town.
Yes, how fucking awesome.
Get it.
That was a fun match to watch.
So excited. Gutted for the final penalty taker for Coventry. That was woof. And it wasn't far away. It looked worse on the original angle, but when they showed it behind him, he wasn't far off.
No. I started
They
the
were
match
all rockets. Every single one of them penalties
cheering
was
for
gorgeous.
Coventry, and I ended the match cheering for Luton Town.
I told her I just wanted a great match. I was rooting for either one who went up. I was not going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
I was going to be happy.
It's been ages for Coventry since they've been up.
And Luton, it was back in the 80s that they were up in the top flight.
Yeah. And that stadium, it's going to be a fun fucking place to go.
You got to walk through houses
to get there,
the
yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait. I'm
Veins
excited.
In my veins.
Oh, yeah, and it's all set up for us to lose 2-0 on the opening day.
Oh, fuck yeah, it is.
With
definitely.
our brand new midfield and everything else.
Oh, yeah, you
I
guys
cannot
be
wait.
fucking lovely, and you're going to definitely lose. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Or we play there, and we'll definitely lose, because we always love to lose to newly promoted teams. That's for damn sure.
But that stadium is fucking brilliant. Just in the backs of the houses and the... pre-match, if they don't have music on the loudspeakers, you'd be able to hear somebody singing in a fucking shower.
Oh, I know.
That's
It's fucking
dope.
brilliant.
It's so good. Now,
Fucking brilliant.
Highbury...
VAR will be in some dude's living room.
Guy just sitting outside with binoculars going, hey, you looked on to me.
Yeah, they're going to have to change all their Wi-Fi passwords.
Yeah. Well,
Can't be password anymore, or else they can get free Wi-Fi from the house.
So one of the
It's not
challenges
good.
that they're going to have...
FBI surveillance van.
That they absolutely are going to have for a team as they're coming up is they have to invest a lot of money into their stadium. They need to be at a certain capacity.
Well, it's a good thing they got a $130 million payday coming.
Yeah, but
no matter where they finish.
But a lot of that's going to go into
the stadium. Yeah,
the stadium. And
I think it was like
the players.
I think it's $2 million minimum to meet the Premier League requirements that they'll need to spend on the stadium, and that's a minimum to spend on the stadium. But no, it's an awesome story. It's an awesome feel, and people forget too. This is how Highbury used to be. Now it wasn't as bad as Kenilworth Road because you literally have to walk under people's like bedrooms to get in.
Yeah,
Highbury was when I went. You came out of the tube station, made a left instead of a right. You make a right to go to the Emirates, make a left to go to Highbury.
Yeah.
I went into the main entrance, so it was fine. But all that whole street is just lined with row homes, and there was a gap between two lines of row homes where they did have a gate to get into Highbury, but there was a gap.
Alley.
Yeah, but there was a gap between the houses.
Right.
Kenilworth Road, it's like people's front rooms are above the entrance.
Yeah, there's
to the away
there's
ground.
Stairs. There's stairs that go through the backyards of people's houses, over the backyards of people's houses. To get into the stadium.
That's amazing.
It's awesome. It's going to be so
fantastic.
much fun.
So much fun.
Yeah, and if I lived there, I would absolutely get a ladder out and climb up onto the stairway, and now I'm just in the stadium.
Yeah, and again, I say,
Now I think it's the away end though that you have to do that for.
But I say too,
If Burnley's coming up, they'll just kick them in the faces on the way down.
Yeah. Everton, and Wolves, and these clubs that Palace and God, who else? West Ham were all in trouble this season. Get your shit straight, because the clubs that are coming up with the intention of staying, and
Burnley especially, and Sheffield took the fucking league by storm their first year up. Oh yeah,
they fell apart miserably in their second year, but they were good that first year.
And now with Luton, you would imagine Luton's going to go straight back down because their budget isn't fantastic.
Right.
I think their entire wage bill is like 1.3 million or something ridiculous. Where everybody else is in the tens of millions, by far.
But this team plays aggressive, in-your-face football.
They remember Huddersfield Town
on the wrong day.
Think Huddersfield Town when they came up. They will kick you to shit. So if you're one of these technical sides that likes to just pass the ball quickly and do, that sort of stuff, Luton will kick the absolute fuck out of you.
Yep, you got to be ready for it.
So you got to be ready for it. You got to be ready to maybe skip the midfield and go over the top as they try to press you. And you've got to be prepared. I feel like teams like City, teams like Arsenal that have fast wingers that can do that and stretch the play a bit and kind of confuse those players will be fine. But teams like West Ham, if it's not Jared Bowen, who is it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Stretching that play.
And you're about to lose Declan Rice.
If you don't replace him properly, you could find yourself with a tough old ass.
Don't be surprised if people are already coming and asking for Paqueta.
100%.
He had a great year.
Yeah, he did.
A really great year.
So it's going to be interesting. I think a lot will ride for West Ham themselves. A lot will ride on that Conference League final. If they win it, they're in the Europa League, and that will help them attract players still.
Yeah.
Obviously, so we'll see what happens. But Luton Town coming up is going to be a very exciting prospect, and I'm sure, almost 100% certain, players that are old, that are out of contract or unhappy where they're at. Players like possibly Ashley Young, players like that, that may be willing to take a wage cut to do one more season in the Prem and kind of solidify their legacy by maybe trying to help Luton stay up. I could see somebody like Ashley Young, and the one I was going to say that sparked the entire conversation for me. Jesse Lingard will be suiting up for Luton Town next season. Almost surely.
All right, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls.
Maybe Jamie Vardy will go to Luton Town.
Do we have anything from the Peanut Gallery at all?
We do. Taylor Thompson says, I used to make fun of my kids for spending hours watching YouTube videos of people playing video games, and now I sit in my basement getting drunk every week for 2.5 hours watching this shit show of a podcast.
Atta boy.
Whoa. Da fuck.
What the fuck?
Christian says that Mina is just a pawn in the game of life. Jay says I wouldn't be surprised.
Solanke is just a pawn in Mina's game of life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Spurs or Chelsea drop points to Luton next year.
Yep.
And
Spurs especially.
Alan Brody says, not sure if this will come up on the show. Well, it is now. But I thought the change from Arlo White to Peter Drury as the main anchor worked out brilliantly. Really enjoyed it.
Peter Drury's a fucking legend.
Peter Drury was phenomenal.
He's a legend.
Yeah, there wasn't a single drop off. I mean, I really did enjoy Arlo, and I think it was basically Arlo wanted a better contract, and they weren't going to
give it to him. Yeah, and I think he went to work for like ESPN or somebody.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was he did a remarkable job, and I just like the way he says Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus every time it would be.
But Peter Drury's a legend. The guy's awesome.
Well, that's all the comments from the sideline.
Excellent. All right, Mr. Graham.
All right.
Any parting words?
Yes. I don't know what happened. You don't normally think of them as super entertaining. But did everything kick off in Germany this weekend?
Okay.
Dortmund. First in the Bundesliga, go into the weekend 2 points clear of Bayern Munich with an inferior goal difference. They're playing mid-table, nothing to play for Mainz, who they beat earlier in the season. They are playing host to Mainz.
They're at home.
It looked, I believe they were, yeah. And It looked like Dortmund just went haywire, just like completely forgot how to football.
Oh, no.
And found themselves 2-0 down at halftime.
Oh,
Bayern Munich went 1-0 up. And Dortmund could only rescue a point. And that
Bayern
was it.
Won on
Bayern
goal
won
differential.
the title on goal difference and promptly sacked Oliver Kahn. And there's talk of Thomas Tuchel losing his job because winning the Bundesliga on the last day of the season is unfucking acceptable. We should have had this wrapped up months ago.
Right. We win the Bundesliga every year. Nobody else wins
11th title in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's annoying. But where it all kicked off, and my con of the week.
Yep.
In Bundesliga 2, Heidenheim, yeah, and Hamburg were playing it out for the last automatic promotion spot.
Mm-hmm.
Hamburg won their game 1-0. At the time, Heidenheim was 2-1 down.
Okay.
10 minutes of stoppage time in Heidenheim's game.
Oh.
Hamburg needed them to draw or lose.
Mm-hmm.
Early in stoppage time, they score to equalize.
Okay, so
Hamburg's still up
going
at this point. And at that point, decon of the week is Hamburg were away, by the way, at SV Sandhausen.
Okay.
House of Sand. And their stadium announcer decided it was a good idea to congratulate Hamburg on promotion. Problem was, in the 99th minute,
oh no!
Heidenheim scored to make it 3-2, steal the automatic promotion spot, and Hamburg are now in the German playoff system
with the last place team,
last place team in Germany. I think it and the Bundesliga 1. I think it is that they have to play them
to see
decide who stays up or goes up. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, con of the week is the Sandhausen stadium announcer, because why would you do that?
Fucking hell.
And then, even more amazing, the same fucking thing happened in Bundesliga 3 to their second and third place teams.
The same thing.
The same exact, very specific fucking thing that happened to Hamburg happened in Bundesliga 3 for promotion to Bundesliga 2.
Oh my God.
Where the third place team at the time in the league table overtook in stoppage time the second place team, and the second place team had the stadium announcer say, "We did it, we're going through," and then fucked it because they didn't.
Oh my God.
So stadium announcers, until the final whistle blows, until the fat lady sings, shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut.
Can you imagine if your stadium announcer went, well, that's job done at 97 minutes, and then Bournemouth scored?
Oh, my God.
They'd have burned the place to the fucking ground.
Oh, my God, they would have. Absolutely.
There'd have been no false headlocks there, I promise.
Oh, definitely not. By the way, still no photograph, video, any evidence whatsoever that Denise Baxendale was put in a headlock. Just want to put that out there.
Oh, what a brilliant weekend.
And, of course, who was not in attendance for the final match this season? The Everton board.
Of course. They shouldn't be. You're not allowed to join this party.
Apparently, Arlo went to LIV Golf.
Oh, okay. Got it. You get that payday.
Take that Saudi money.
You want that payday. That is a fucking payday.
I guess the Ted Lasso money didn't pay him that much.
No, probably not. But
I
good
watched
for him.
the Charles Schwab Classic this weekend a bit. It sucks without everybody there.
Yeah.
The PGA Tour's lame now.
Yeah, it does suck.
It's only Victor, what's his name? Hovland.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody's at Live.
Yep.
It sucks.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Next up is Injury Time, where we're going to recap how our adopted clubs did, and we're going to talk about the finals of both Division 1 and Division 2 in fantasy, the beers we've been drinking, and talk a little bit about the FA Cup final that's coming up. Sam, should somebody want to check out Injury Time, how do they go about doing it?
It's very easy, very low fee, too, $5 a month, and you get Injury Time and Soundcheck, our extra show, as long as you pay that money to us on patreon.com/DU Football Show. So just check that out. Sign up for it, and you'll get all the extra content.
And be sure to check out our DU Drip Shack. You can find that on our link tree on every single one of our socials. It's pinned to the top. Buy yourself a fun shirt,
cool
a pint
swag.
glass,
Yeah.
water bottles, slides, all that fun shit.
All that cool stuff, yep.
And till next week, everybody.
Good night.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!